Hi, this is Sue and Jack at Backs Etc. and
Hi.
Today we're going to take you through some exercises for your tongue and throat to help you with swallowing and snoring, or not to snore. Anyway, without further ado, I'm going to talk you through the exercises and Jack is going to demonstrate for you. So we're going to start off by massaging between your eyebrows. So just little circles at that point on the forehead, just clockwise and anti-clockwise a few times. Nice. And then Jack's going to come to just lateral to the nose on either side, and just some nice little circles just in here. This can be really great if your nose is stuffed. Just a few circles in either direction. And you can just, when you finish going in circles, just with your fingers, just push in to that area and breathe. And that can really free your nose. Then coming out with knuckles a little bit wider from the nose, just sort of pushing in towards the nose, kind of under the cheekbone. This can be a little bit tender, but you can do some little circles or just hold and pushing in, and again use the nasal breathing to really start to feel freedom in this area. Now while Jack is doing all of this, he is keeping his neck long and straight. So what we're never going to be doing is sticking your chin forward while we're doing these exercises. Fantastic. Okay, now we're going to go into the tongue. So Jack's going to do some what we call tongue circles. So what he's really going to be doing is inside his mouth he's going to be licking around the top teeth and round to the bottom. So just nice big circles in one direction. I know it looks really silly, but it really gets the tongue going. And when he's done about 5 in one direction, he's going to turn and go the other way for 5. And this really just starts to get the tongue mobility going. Alrighty, and then we're going to come to an exercise called the open jaw exercise, where he's going to use the tongue on the back of his lower teeth and open as wide as he can whilst pushing forward and down with the tongue, because the jaw, we want the jaw to go down but forward, not just back and compressing into the jaw joint.
But not too far like that.
No, keeping the neck long. The neck never moves in all these exercises. But so you open with the tongue, pushing, and you hold for a couple of seconds at the end, close, and then back into it. So in total you want to do somewhere between 5 and 10 of these. Okay, so the next one is going to be half smiles. So this is where you literally just try and smile with half your mouth at one at a time.
I can only do it
Yes.
on one side properly.
Jack has real trouble on one side, so this is something he's practicing, because we want all these muscles to work as well as possible, and sometimes it is just because we don't practice this enough. So even though you may be grimacing on one side, the intention is literally just to turn up your mouth one side and then the other. And I think we're going to try and do about 10 or so of those, and he's probably done enough right now. Okay, now the next one is what we call a tongue down R. So he's going to make an R noise, really opening through his throat, but at the same time really pushing the tongue to the floor of the mouth. So it's really good to keep a really good standing posture. You really want to do these exercises while you're standing, and if you can maintain the R for as long as possible and really good slow exhale, that's really, really nice. So this will help you improve your exhale as well. Okay, so again you want to do about 4 or 5 of those. Then we're going to come to tongue up clicks. So you're going to click on the roof of your mouth and trying to get as much of the tongue, not just the tip of the tongue, but as much of the body of the tongue to the top of the roof as you click. And actually if you put your fingers just on the sort of base of your mouth here, you should feel a constriction in those muscles. And even rather than just a click with the tip of the tongue, you're sort of looking for a sort of deeper sound that's coming from getting more of the tongue on the roof.
You're better at it than I am.
Okay. But that's what we're looking for, and this sort of activation of the muscles here. Okay, and now we're going to do another exercise involving the top of the mouth. Jack's going to put the tongue just behind the teeth at the top, and he's going to sweep back with the tip of the tongue as far back as it goes, And then when you get to the back, just sort of push up a little bit more. And again, you should feel activity at the sort of base of the throat here. Because it's just touching on the top of the throat and you're sweeping back and forwards. But as you get to the back, there's a little pause and a sort of push up with the tongue. And again, this is really opening the airway, which is something that's really important when we consider snoring, because snoring is often the tongue just falling into the airway because it's not controlled enough. Okay, that's probably enough of those. The next one is a really fun one where you're going to, first of all, again, keeping the neck long, Jack's going to try and touch his chin with his tongue. Then he's going to try and touch his nose. Each one you're going to hold for about 4 seconds. Then he's going to tip his head back. And as he tips his head back, his head goes up and back. It's not just collapsing back, it's up and back and sticking his tongue, trying to touch the ceiling. And then back to the beginning again. So with head in a neutral position, tongue goes down 4 seconds, tongue goes up 4 seconds, head back, tongue to the ceiling for 4 seconds. And you really want to try and stretch the tongue as much as possible while you're doing it, and this can really free off some of the tissues in this area. Lovely. Let's just do one more set of those. I really do like this exercise. Lovely.
It's a tongue workout.
Okay, so now what Jack's going to do is put his thumbs just inside the jaw, just inside the bony angle of the jaw. So it's the roof of the mouth just going upwards here, and he's pushing towards his ear on either side. This can feel quite tight, so you adjust your pressure as to how much is okay for you. So again, keeping the neck long, pushing your tongue there, pushing fingers towards the ears to add a bit more of a stretch here. It can just shift the jaw forward and relax. So keeping the fingers where they are, you're just going to shift the jaw forward and back, maintaining that pressure. And this is some of the muscles that control the swallow, digastric muscle in particular, and really important to have a nice, easy swallow. Okay, well, talking of swallowing, we're going to do some more exercises to help you swallow better. It's really important to be able to swallow well. Okay, so Jack's going to bite his tongue. He'll stick his tongue out. First of all, just the tip of the tongue. He's going to bite onto it, not too hard, you don't have to draw blood or anything. And then, with the tongue in that position, held between the teeth, he's going to swallow. And he's going to try and do that again. We want about 5 of those. If it becomes easy to do just with the tip of the tongue, you are going to start sticking your tongue out further, because what you're really doing is putting a stretch on the tissues and holding them while you're trying to, and the swallow is stretching them. But it really can make it easier to swallow pills, or anyone who has issues with swallowing.
You might need to have some water on hand as well, because once your mouth gets dry, forget it. Then mine's gone.
Okay. So we're going to do another exercise now, which is taking that a bit further, in which Jack will tuck his chin down to his chest. He will then stick his tongue out and bite on the tongue, and then he's going to tip his head all the way back to the ceiling like he did in the previous exercise, going up and back, and now try the swallow. This is probably harder, but it's a more advanced exercise, but again, like the one before, you can adjust the pressure by how far up the tongue you bite onto it. So it's you let go of the tongue as you come down, you stick the tongue out, you bite, you tip the head back and swallow at the end of range. And you're looking to do about 5 or 6 of those. And as I said, by the further you bite up the tongue, the more advanced this exercise is done. I think it's a good job. Okay, and now Jack has really been working his tongue and opening everything. He can consolidate that with just a sort of singing exercise, which I guess is just going through the vowels, because that's different ways of really opening up the throat.
A, E, I, O, U.
Lovely.
A,
now,
E, I, O, U.
You may feel embarrassed about making these noises, so you can just do it silently if that's if you feel that that's better for you. And then the final thing here is just Jack is going to put a tongue on the roof of his mouth back to a sort of normal breathing position and just do some nice gentle nasal breaths, because now the nose should be open, the throat is open, and nice relaxed slow breathing. Breathing in for about 4 and then trying to maintain as long an exhale as possible just to bring the nervous system back into balance. Excellent. Thank you so much, Jack. All right, that's it for today.